Let's discuss Koch's postulates. In 1884, German physician Robert Koch and bacteriologist Friedrich Loeffler developed a criteria for establishing the microbial causes of disease. Based on their work with cholera, tuberculosis, anthrax, and the microbes that cause these diseases, Koch and Loeffler aimed to first demonstrate that microorganisms cause disease, and second, establish a means of rigorously examining the relationships between pathogens and the diseases they cause. To this end, they developed the guidelines known today as Koch's postulates. The first postulate states that the causative pathogen should be found in sick individuals but not healthy individuals. The second postulate states that the pathogen should be isolated from the sick individual and grown in a pure culture. The third postulate states that when the causative pathogen is introduced to a healthy person, it will cause the same sickness as it did in the original sick individual. There is an additional fourth postulate which was added by Erwin Frank Smith in 1905. It states that the causative agent should be able to be isolated from the individual who is infected to fulfill postulate 3. If all four of these criteria are met, then it can be proven that a particular pathogen causes a particular disease. It's worth noting that Koch's postulates were developed early in the history of microbiological research. As a result, these postulates are not always applicable to all microorganisms being investigated today. For example, the postulates are challenged by asymptomatic carriers, or healthy individuals who carry a disease-causing pathogen, as well as microbes that cause disease but cannot be isolated in pure culture. Koch's postulates have been summarized as one organism causes one disease. However, we now have many examples of pathogens where we know that this is not always the case. Many factors play a role in the effects of microorganisms on the host, including susceptibility factors of the host, which may make a host more likely to get sick, and colonization resistors, which may make the host less likely to get sick. Koch's postulates have been updated over time to address these challenges. For example, the effects of viruses on disease have been described through a modified 6 postulates which, among other changes, require proof of filterability, detection of a specific immune response, and the cultivation of the virus in host cells rather than pure culture. Finally, advances in gene sequencing technology provide another means of investigating the relationship between pathogen and host, but also make our understanding and application of the original postulates more challenging. Despite changes in the way that we understand the microbial causes of disease, Koch's postulates remain an important gold standard for the level of rigor required to prove the causative agents of disease. Even as new technologies such as genome sequencing replace the techniques described in the original postulates, Koch's work is frequently referenced as a basis for modern investigations of the causative agents of disease. The development of Koch's postulates aimed to start a conversation about the microbial causes of disease and succeeded. Examination of these topics continues in full force even today.